right, gang, welcome back to the live room. Just saw an interesting tweet by Daniel Presley. He said, lately I've seen a trend towards bashing hard work and long hours. He says, not without its drawbacks and certainly not for everyone, but don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Some people love long, challenging work. A lot could be done with single-minded focus. What do you guys think about that? Have you noticed, is there a trend of that now? I feel like things go back and forth based off what's trendy. Is that a new thing? I know I hear a lot about don't work harder, work smarter, which I think by itself is BS. But before that, it was the whole type of, wake up 3 a.m. in the morning. You gotta, if you want to be a real entrepreneur or a real hard worker, you gotta wake up before everyone else, which is not necessarily true either. Right? That's one of the things. I mean, I am an early bird. Don't get me wrong. But I forgot who it was. I'm not sure if it was Bill Gates. But you could, my wife, for example, she's a night owl. She gets a lot of work done really, really late at night. I get a lot of work done early in the morning. Does it really make a difference when you get your work done? So I don't know. I don't think I don't I believe, right? Okay, you can work smart, you can work hard, right? If you work very, very hard and you don't work smart, you're limited. If you work very, very smart but you don't work hard, you're limited. I would tend to, if I had to choose one or the other. Let me ask you guys this: if you had to choose one or the other, a smart worker, if you're an employer, and you're looking for employees, and you had to choose a smart worker or a hard worker, who would you choose? You had to choose one. Who would you choose? Latch says smart. Ali says hard. Ale says hard. Greg says smart. 2 and 2 tiebreaker. Who's going to beat the tiebreaker? Come on now. Dennis says hard worker. Avery says hard worker. So what are we at? We're at 1, 2, 3. Come on. Now you're typing. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for smart. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 for hard. So again, I preface. I think you need both. In order to be successful, you need both. I would take the hard worker, and Ryan kind of typed in exactly what I would say. I would take the hard worker over the smart worker because I believe it is easier to teach a skill than kind of change a character trait, right? So you could be as smart as you want. And I see this with athletics all the time. Obviously I coach traders, but I coach athletes as well. And I get some very talented people that don't have the work ethic. Work ethic is really, really hard to teach. Right? It's hard to change someone's ability to be properly motivated to go above and beyond. Not saying it's not doable. But it's a little bit harder. If we're talking about something that is a skill, and I have someone that has a very strong work ethic, if I have someone that is willing and dedicated to get better at something, I think it's a little bit easier to teach them to do it in a smarter way, to teach them the skill or have them acquire knowledge. Now, again, if you're a doorknob dumb, maybe that's a different story, right? But I believe people are of all different levels of intelligence, but I think a lot of that is also due with their willingness to learn, right? I think if typically you're people that are doorknob dumb, they just don't have the work ethic to get smarter, right? They just don't make any effort to get smarter. If you have someone that's doorknob dumb and they want to get better, they'll get better. Maybe their ceiling isn't as high as someone with a much higher IQ, but they'll get a little bit better, right? So I would take a hard worker and just if they're hardworking, you would think they would be willing to be taught and become smarter. If you have someone that is just smart, and there are two factors here, right? Maybe they're not willing to work hard and change that characteristic. And of course, some are. I'm not saying everyone in general, but maybe you get a lot of smart people that are just like, well, I'm this smart. Why do I need to work hard? And again, on the athletic side of things, we get a lot of people that are very talented, and they're like, well, coach, why do I need to train the right way? I'm just good. Where you have people that are also like not very athletically blessed, and they know that, so they got to work extra hard to be good. And you see some of those people pay off. And of course, the sweet spot is when you get the athlete that is very, very genetically talented and wants to work hard. Then that's when you get the LeBron Jameses of the world, or the Cristiano Ronaldos. It was a great podcast on that. It was Cristiano Ronaldo and a friend that came in when they were in the youth leagues, right? It was two of them that came in at the same time. They were best friends. One of them is arguably one of the best players in the world. The other one is, I think, a waiter at a fish place. The one that's the waiter at the fish place was the more talented individual. Again, I don't know if you guys heard that episode. He was more talented. When they both came in, he was going to be what Ronaldo is now. But there was one difference, right? And for all the stuff that, there are a lot of Cristiano Ronaldo haters out there, he works extremely hard. He is one of the hardest workers out there. You can feel however you want to feel about him, playing wise, off the pitch wise, but he is a very hard worker, and that's why he is where he's at today. Where his friend was not, and that's why his friend is selling fish somewhere. So yeah, that's what I would take if I had to choose one. But I think it's, in general, you need both. If you want to be very, very successful, you need both. But yeah, I've kind of noticed that trend as well. And I think the internet kind of just gives you whatever excuse you want to hear not to do something. So like, people got tired of working hard because, working hard sucks. I think you guys would agree, right? Right? The grind isn't fun. We kind of, we make it, we give it this different kind of reasoning for social media glory. People, at 5 a.m., up 5 a.m. on my grind, right? You get excited. I'm doing something, right? It's fun to post pictures and stuff, right? I'm doing something, grinding hard, right? But like, for you guys that are actually grinding, like, I think you would agree. Is it fun? It's not really fun, right? You've seen the pictures of Jason Greystone passed out at his computer. You've seen the pictures of me passed out at my computer, right? You guys have back tested before and learned, and you get the carpal tunnel in your hand from back testing because you're clicking that stupid right arrow button so many times, and your bloodshot eyes, and you start missing data boxes because you're tired. Like, it's not fun. That's not fun. Like, I don't, those are some of the most miserable times of your life. Any of you guys that have built a business, how many guys are entrepreneurs, business owners? Those first, 2 to 5 years are horrible. They're horrible. Now you have the dream is cool, right? That's what keeps you going. You have that dream in the back of your mind, like, once I do this is going to be awesome. And you can look back at it and you're like, once I get this, it's going to be cool. But like, the grind is not fun. Same thing with you guys that are parents out there. I don't think parenting is fun. Parenting sucks, man. I've got 2 kids and they suck every bit of energy out of me. It's not fun. But the bigger picture is worth it. It's well worth it. I enjoy it, right? I love being a parent. I love my kids. But the not sleeping for 4 years, that's not fun. I think we'd all trade that in. So I think the internet kind of gives you this excuse where people were all excited about grinding, and now it's like, people actually start grinding and they're like, oh man, this is not great at all. This is not what I thought it was. This is not just Instagram likes. This is kind of hard. So let's switch the paradigm, right? Hard work is a negative. We don't want to work hard. I'm going to work smart. Because if I work smart, I don't have to work hard. Yeah, all right. We'll see how far that gets you. In my opinion, the person that works smart and not hard, that's the person that comes up with we all have a friend like this. That's the person that comes up with all these ideas but never actually executes them. You guys ever run into that person, the idea person that never follows through? they're always like, hey man, I got this idea, right? This would be an awesome business. And that's like, dude, that would be an awesome business. There's certainly a need for that, and no one's doing it yet. Yeah, you should do that. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. And then they never actually Kramer. Yeah, there we go, Kramer. Yeah. Then they never actually follow through with it. And you're like, hey, how's that business going? Yeah, no, I never did it, but I got this next idea. It's the people that follow through with the idea. You look at any great entrepreneur out there, I'm pretty sure they weren't the first. I mean, an extreme example, and maybe you can say he stole stuff a little bit, but like Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook. Did he invent the concept of a social media community platform? No. But I would say he followed through with it the best. So that's what I would take. But you guys are right. You need both. You need both to get to that next level. You need both.